The cafeteria buzzed around you like a beehive, but to you it might as well have been a battlefield. You clutched your tray tightly, eyes fixed on the floor, silently praying to whatever higher power was listening that today, just today, they would leave you alone. But fate wasn't that kind. Well, well, look who's here. Mia's voice cut through the chatter, sharp and cruel, the cafeteria's very own food vacuum. You stiffened, every muscle in your body locking in place, your fingers dug into the cheap plastic of your tray. Oh my god, did you guys see the way the table creaked when she said yesterday? Sophia laughed, tossing her perfect hair over her shoulder. You told yourself not to react, not to give them what they wanted, but your cheeks were already burning, your chest tightened painfully. Hey, maybe she's trying to set a world record for the heaviest girl to ever walk these halls. A ripple of laughter followed, some hesitant, some cruel. You felt every pair of eyes on you, mocking, judging, enjoying the show. Smile for us, sweetheart, Sophia cooed, stepping closer. Come on, show everyone that lovely double chin. You bit the inside of your cheek so hard you tasted blood. Seriously, Mia said, leaning in like she was telling you a secret. How does it feel like to be both ugly and overweight? You squeezed your eyes shut, wishing you could be anywhere but there. Maybe if you lost like 200 pounds, someone might accidentally find you cute. Sophia laughed. You blinked rapidly, forcing down the lump in your throat. Just leave me alone, you said through your gritted teeth. Mia gasped dramatically, clutching her chest. Did you hear that? The beast speaks. More laughter, more humiliation. You turned trying to walk away, but Sophia stuck out her food and you stumbled forward, your tray clattering to the ground and food scattered everywhere. A wave of cold dread washed over you. Someone gasped, someone laughed, and then a voice, a low, rough voice that sliced through the chaos like a blade. Pick on someone your own size of brain. You froze, the entire cafeteria did. You turned your head slowly, heart hammering against your ribs. There he stood, leaning casual against the doorway, arms crossed over his broad chest, dark hair falling into his eyes, his black hoodie and ripped jeans making him look every bit the devil your parents warned you about. Jungkook, your mortal enemy, your nightmare, and your secret crush. Mia scoffed, folding her arms. This doesn't concern you, Jungkook. He pushed off the wall with a slow, dangerous grace. Each step he took towards you felt like an earthquake under your feet. It does now. Sophia rolled her eyes. What? Feeling sorry for the charity case? Jungkook smirked, and it was terrifying how gorgeous he looked doing it. No, just sick of seeing trash act like royalty. Mia's mouth opened in shock. You can't talk to us like that. Watch me, Jungkook said lazily, reaching you in two long strides. He crouched down, ignoring the entire world, and started picking up your tray and your spilled food. Your heart lodged itself somewhere in your throat. What are you doing? You whispered, too stunned to move. He glanced up at you, one eyebrow cocked. Helping? Can't believe you're letting that trash coming out of their mouth and not saying anything. You blinked once, twice. This had to be a dream or a nightmare. Because Jungkook, the boy who mocked you mercilessly in middle school, the boy who made your blood boil more times than you could count, was helping you. Once the mess was cleaned up, Jungkook stood towering over you. He hesitated for a split second, then without warning he bent down, wrapped one strong arm around your thighs, the other around your back, and lifted you into his arms like you weighed nothing at all. A gasp ripped from your throat. "What are you doing?" You shrieked, clinging to his hoodie instinctively, his lips curled into a grin that made your heart stutter. Making a point. You could feel every muscle in his arms, every heartbeat against your side. Everyone was staring, everyone was silent. Jungkook turned towards the table where Mia and Sophia sat, mouths hanging open in horror. "You see this girl?" he said, his voice carrying easily across the stunned cafeteria. "She's more beautiful than any of you put together. Dead. You were officially dead. She's worth more than your fake smiles and your cheap insults." Jungkook continued, tightening his hold on you, "and if anyone has a problem with that, they can take it up with me." Mia looked like she swallowed a lemon. Sophia gasped at him like he grew two heads. Jungkook looked down at you, his eyes softening just slightly. "You're coming with me," he muttered. You could barely nod, too stunned to argue. He carried you out of the cafeteria like it was the most normal thing in the world, ignoring every whisper, every shocked stare, and for the first time in what felt like forever, you didn't feel ugly, you didn't feel invisible, you felt seen, you felt wanted, and it was the scariest and most wonderful feeling you had ever known. The cold wind slapped your cheeks the second Jungkook pushed open the rooftop door. He carried you like you weighed nothing, like the burden you always thought you were didn't exist in his world. Finally, he set you down gently near the edge, his hands lingering for a moment longer than necessary, as if he wasn't ready to let go. You stumbled a step back, heart hammering so hard you were sure he could hear it. You gawked at him, voice shaking. What was that?" Jungkook tilted his head, that infuriating little smirk tugging at the corner of his mouth. "Wow," he said, dragging the word out teasingly. "Look at you, always ready to fight with me like you are some badass warrior princess, but when it's those girls talking down to you..." He let his sentence trail off, letting the silence finish it for him. You swallowed hard, shame burning your throat. "You just let them," he said in a softer voice now, almost disappointed. "You go all quiet like you actually believe the crap they say about you." You stared at him, blinking against the sudden sting in your eyes. Jungkook shoved his hands into his pockets, looking at you with something complicated in his gaze, something that wasn't quite anger and definitely wasn't pity either. It was something deeper, something raw. "You don't fight for yourself," he said, shaking his head, "but you fight me every damn day." You bit your lip hard. He wasn't wrong. "You hate me so easily," he said, voice dropping low, almost like he was talking to himself. "But you can't even hate them when they're tearing you apart." You looked away, blinking up at the grey sky, wishing it would just open up and swallow you whole. Jungkook stepped closer, his boots scraping against the concrete. "Why?" he asked, voice barely more than a whisper now. "Why are you so ready to believe the worst about yourself?" You stiffened, your arms wrapping around your body like armor. Because it's true. You mumbled so quietly you weren't sure he would even hear it, but he did. Of course he did. Jungkook cursed under his breath, so soft you almost missed it. Before you could react, his hand was on your chin, tilting your face up to meet his. Don't, don't you dare say that again. You stared at him wide-eyed, frozen in place. You think you are invisible? He said, his thumb brushing lightly over your cheekbone. You're not. You never were. You hated the way your heart stuttered in your chest. You hated the way your knees wobbled just from his touch. You hated the way, even after everything, a tiny stupid part of you wanted to believe him. He pulled back slightly, his hand lingering at your jawline for a second longer, as if he couldn't quite let go yet. You're not ugly, and you're definitely not worthless. You blinked up at him, lips parting in silent shock. He chuckled under his breath, but there was no cruelty in it, only sadness, only something that hurt to look at. You're just stupid, he said, eyes locked with yours, for not seeing yourself the way I do. The rooftop spun a little around you. You weren't sure if it was the wind or the way his words knocked the air clean out of your lungs, because Jungkook, your worst enemy, was looking at you like you were something precious, and you had no idea what to do with that. And how do you see me? The question slipped from your lips before you could stop it, barely a whisper. He stiffened slightly. You almost regretted asking, but then he pulled back just enough to look at you. You want the truth? His voice was low. You nodded, swallowing thickly. You are the most frustrating person I've ever met, he said first, and you almost pulled away, but he tightened his hold. You drive me insane. Your breath caught. You argue with me like your life depends on it, he murmured, brushing his thumb over your knuckles. You never back down, even when you are scared. You bit your lip, your heart was hammering, and you don't even realize how damn strong you are. You shook your head a little, but he leaned closer. You don't see it, he whispered, but I do. You walk into a room and the air changes. You blinked rapidly, not believing him. You pretend you're invisible, but you're not. You exhaled shakily while your chest ached. You have got this light in you, and you keep trying to snuff it out. Your throat tightened. You act like you are replaceable, like if you disappeared, no one would notice. You looked down, but he caught your chin, forcing your eyes back to him. I would notice. The words hit harder than anything else. I would freaking notice. You are stubborn, you are reckless, you are messy and confusing, and you piss me off more than anyone else ever has. You let out a tiny broken laugh, but you make me care in ways I didn't think I could anymore. You froze. You make me want things I never let myself want. You make me wish I was better. A tear escaped despite your best efforts. You scare the shit out of me because you are real. You tremble in his arms, unable to find words. You are not perfect, he said, and somehow it sounded like a blessing. And that's exactly why I... He stopped himself, your hands clenched tighter around his jacket. You're so freaking beautiful when you're angry, and even more beautiful when you are trying to hide how much you are hurting. You choked on a sob. You are not weak. You are not broken, Ryan. You shook your head, overwhelmed. You are brave, he whispered, brushing your hair back. You are kind. You deserve someone who is not afraid to stand beside you. You pressed your forehead against his chest, clinging to him. You deserve to be fought for. You sobbed quietly into him and he wrapped you tighter in his arms. You deserve to be loved without conditions. And if you let me, he paused for a second as if gathering his courage to say those words. I'll spend every damn day proving that to you. You stared at him, heart in your throat, hands trembling at your sides. For a second, the weight of his words crushed you, but then something inside you snapped. You don't know what you are saying. He didn't flinch. I know exactly what I'm saying. You shook your head fiercely, backing away half a step. You don't see the real me. I do, Jungkook said firmly. No, you see what you want to see. He grabbed your hand before you could pull further away. No, I see you. You see someone strong? You laughed hollowly. Someone brave? Yes, I do, he insisted. You don't see the parts that are selfish or ugly or broken. I see all of it, Ryan, and I still don't. You begged, stepping back. Don't say something you'll regret. His jaw tightened. I'm not going to regret telling the truth. You will. You said, tears slipping down your cheeks, when you realize how much of a mess I am. I already know, Jungkook said quietly. You hugged yourself, shivering. You deserve someone whole. I don't want perfect, I want you. You shook your head, unable to breathe properly. I want the girl who picks fights with me because she's scared to let anyone close. You looked away, hating how he saw right through you. I want the girl who stands up for others but can't fight for herself, he continued. Stop it, you whispered. I want the girl who doesn't even know how goddamn beautiful she is when she smiles. He said fiercely. You sobbed quietly, trying to push him away. He didn't let you. You think you're unloved? You're wrong. You clutched at your chest like you could physically hold your heart together. You think you are too much, you are not enough for me? You bit your lip until you tasted blood. You think I'm going to wake up one day and regret loving you? You think I'm that freaking stupid? You are going to hate me, you whispered brokenly. Everyone always does. I'm not everyone, he said. You covered your face with your hands, trembling. He pulled your hands away, holding them tightly. Look at me, Jungkook demanded. You refused, shaking your head. Ryan, please, look at me, he said again, voice gentler now. You finally raised your eyes to his, and the way he was looking at you nearly destroyed you. You are terrified, he said, brushing your hair back. You nodded helplessly. You are tired of being a disappointment. More tears spilled. You are tired of hoping because hope hurts. You sobbed, the sound ripped from your chest. But you don't have to hope with me, Jungkook said, resting his forehead against yours. You tried to pull back, but he just tightened his arms. You don't have to pretend. You closed your eyes, shattered. You can be selfish with me, you can be messy, you can be scared. You clutched his jacket desperately, and I'll still stay, no matter what. Your voice broke as you whispered, why? He smiled, sad and beautiful, because you are the only thing in this world that ever made me want to stay. You trembled in his arms, mind a mess of fear and desperate hope. For a moment, neither of you spoke, only the sound of your shaky breathing filling the heavy space between you. Then Jungkook's fingers tilted your chin up gently, his dark eyes holding yours captive. You free Friday night? You blinked, caught off guard. What? There's a party, he said, still not letting you go. Big one. You shook your head, confused. Parties aren't really my thing. A soft chuckle rumbled from his chest. Mine either. You frowned up at him. Then why go? He brushed a strand of hair behind your ear, so tenderly it made your heart ache. Because I want you there, with me. You stared at him, struggling to breathe. You're serious? Dead serious. He whispered like it was the only truth that mattered. Your heart thumped painfully as you asked, "You want me as your date?" Yeah, is that a problem? You opened your mouth to say something, anything, but no words came out. He smiled faintly at your stunned expression like he already knew you were falling apart inside. You don't have to be insecure, not with me. You bit your trembling lip, overwhelmed, every part of you screaming to run and stay at the same time. But what if I mess it up? You whispered, you won't, and even if you do, I'll still be right there. A sob rose in your throat and you fought it down, refusing to look weak, but he caught your face between his palms, forcing you to meet his gaze again. Let yourself be selfish for once. Come with me. You hesitated, fear clawing at your ribs. He leaned closer, voice like promise against your skin. You deserve to be chosen. You deserve to be wanted. Don't you get it yet? You closed your eyes, heart shattering all over again. I've already chosen you a long time ago. The walls you spent years building crumbled in one shuddering breath, and for the first time in forever, you let yourself hope.